Welcome back to the Realm of Unpopular Opinions. Today we are doing something I never thought I would do for the simple reason that I cannot film in front of other people, so I can't get someone to read me the lines because that would I think it would kill me. I think it would kill me to have to talk to myself in front of other people, which is very strange because I am sort of used to it now, but just having someone else here literally just for 5 seconds, I feel like I wouldn't be able to speak as I usually do when I'm alone. So that tangent over with, I never thought I'd be able to make this video, but I got my mother to take photos of like all the first paragraphs in books and to like cross out the names and everything. So we are going to try and do this. I think she got 12 books. I'm going to try and guess them. I'm going to like write down my guesses, and then in the end she's going to give me the actual answers. And there's just one thing I have to warn you about with this video, and that is that this could go very poorly. Because I know there's people who are like genuinely very good at this, like just remembering first lines, last lines, but since anyway, I was interrupted rudely. This is exactly my point. I have to cut off the clip as soon as I think someone's listening to me. I have this horrific feeling when someone's listening to me, like I cannot speak properly. Me in public speaking, like that's just never going to happen. Yes, point being, I'm going to try and guess them. I'm going to get the results, but do not expect me to excel because I binge books. I read them quickly if I like them, and if I don't like them, I'm not likely to remember anything about it, let alone its first or last lines. So I'm going to try and guess the first line, then the first paragraph. If I didn't get it in the end, it is what it is. My mother says that I should guess 5 out of 12. If it's 0, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because I'm just not the type of person who remembers this. Like a book is a whole, a story is a whole in my head. There's no need for me to remember its first lines because the first lines don't stand out from the rest. The only reason I might remember a first line is because it's very famous on the internet, not because I specifically remember a first line to a book that I've read. So the writing style, maybe even the way that the letters look, could give me clues because like all the names are crossed out, so I'm not going to get that. So like either the writing style or a specific word that I know the author uses, or the font and how the page looks could help me guess. But otherwise, this could end very badly. Let's just get into it. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I just opened the first photo on my tablet. I already don't know what it is. I already don't know what it is. Now, granted, genuinely, I feel like now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, why am I doing this challenge? Because I'm never going to be able to guess this. I don't remember books this way. Like, I remember very well plot, characters, plot threads, spoilers. I do not remember specific lines. That's why I mark them with tabs. I'm going to read it out, and then you can laugh at me. That's fair enough. This is what the video's for anyway. Okay. Blank woke slowly. A telephone was ringing in the darkness, a tinny, unfamiliar ring. He fumbled for the bedside lamp and turned it on. Squinting at his surroundings, he saw a plush Renaissance bedroom with Louis XVI furniture, hand-frescoed walls, and a colossal mahogany 4-poster bed. Where the hell am I? Okay, now. I don't know what that is. I might like put up the picture as I'm reading it, but like what the hell is this? Exactly, what the hell? Like the telephone and like a Renaissance bedroom and the Louis furniture should tell me something, but it doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't tell me anything. I'm gonna cheat a little bit and just look at my books for a second. Cause like what the hell? What the hell is that supposed to be? Like, from the font, I can tell it's a classic. From the font, I can tell it's a classic, and, like, from the shade of the paper. If she picked a classic that I haven't read, I will be a little annoyed, but, like, what the hell is that supposed to be? Who woke slowly? Like, who the hell woke slowly? In a Renaissance bedroom. A telephone. So it's a more modern classic. I have no idea. We will come back to that. We will come back to that. Okay, so number 1, we have no idea. Number 2, let's go. Let's go. In the week before their departure to blank, when all the final scurrying about had reached a nearly unbearable frenzy, an old crone came to visit the mother of the boy, blank. It was a warm night at blank, and the ancient pile of stone that had served the blank as home for 26 generations bore that cold sweat feeling it acquired before a change in the weather. This is also a classic. This is also a classic. I can just tell by the print because I know that this is my Wordsworth editions. This is what I mean. I can recognize editions like by the font and the paper. What the hell kind of book is this? How am I ever going to guess this? If I guess one, this video will officially be a success. Also, why the hell did she pick classics? I feel like if it was like Bunga or Wheel of Time, I'd get it immediately, but this is so not good. This is so not good. Okay. This is just you watching me really, really get annoyed. Scurrying about, old crone, mother of the boy. What boy? Ancient stone, 26, cooled sweat feeling. That means nothing to me. Let's just go to the next one. I'll come back to these. In case you can't tell, I am beyond annoyed by this. Let's go to the next one. Some years ago, there was in the city of blank a society of magicians. They met upon the third Wednesday of every month and read dull papers. Okay, yeah, I do know this one. It's Jonathan Strays and fucking Mr. Mrlja, isn't it? I don't think I'd be able to tell actually like by the font because it looks very classic-like. Leaf trembled on a tree. Yeah, it's definitely Jonathan Strange. Okay, we've got one. We've got one. Let me just write it down. Finally something. Okay, finally something. Again, this is, I wouldn't know it by the first line. I wouldn't know it by the first line, okay? Like some years ago, there was in the city of blank a society of magicians. That wouldn't tell me anything. Maybe the magicians thing, yeah, would kind of give me a clue. However, without seeing like the context, like I think if someone read these lines out to me like the way that the trend is done, I would never get it. I would never get it because just from what the font looks like and what the paper looks like, I have some context clues. Otherwise, I'd be fucked. I'd genuinely be fucked. And I need the entire paragraph to actually get the context. Now, if that book didn't absolutely kill my soul reading it, just kill me, I don't think I would know this. Also, I read it last year, so that kind of helps. Okay, we've got one. We've got one. Let's feel better about ourselves. Let's go. Number 4. Oh, God. It is only 4 o'clock, but it is winter and the sun has already set. There are no clouds in the clear, frosty sky to reflect its slant beams, but the air itself is tinged with a slight roseate color, which is again reflected on the snow that covers the ground. I live in a lone cottage on a solitary wide heath. No voice of life reaches me. I see the desolate plain covered with white, save a few black patches that the noonday sun has made at the top of those sharp-pointed hillocks, from which the snow, sliding as it fell, lay thinner than on the plain ground. What the hell kind of book is this? What the hell kind of book is this? I swear, I was so happy with the last one. I think the last one might be the only one. These are, if these are all classics, I will be so annoyed because they, minus like Jane Austen or something. Honestly, I don't think I would even know the first line of Jane Eyre. I wouldn't know it, okay? Because like the Jane Austen lines, you see them online so much, so yeah, you kind of know them, but classics just don't have first lines that I remember unless I see them on Pinterest. So like, what the hell is this? It is 4 o'clock. It is winter. The sun has already set. That means nothing to me, okay? The style also means nothing to me because it's, nothing stands out to me. I live in a lone cottage, so like it's first person. I live in a lone, I live in a lone cottage on a wide heath. I'm gonna say Wuthering Heights just because it sounds like that, but I also didn't read Wuthering Heights. This apart from like the first 20 pages. I will be so angry if it is Wuthering Heights because I've never read that book actually. I hate classics, by the way, for this challenge. I hate them genuinely. Like outside of Jane Austen, I don't think I'd get any. Let's just move on to the next one. Okay, next one. When Blank announced that he would shortly be celebrating his 11th birthday. Okay, yeah. I mean, we all know this, don't we? We all know this. Hang on. Whereas number 5, I mean, Lord of the Rings, come on. Or Fellowship, but Lord of the Rings, essentially. We all know that, and there's a reason we all know that. But let's say that that wasn't that specific. What else would I get? Yeah. With a party of special magnificence, there was much talk and excitement in blank. Blank was very rich and very peculiar and had been the wonder of blank for 60 years. Yes, obviously I would get this. Obviously I would get this because 11th birthday. That's what you get. So, okay. It's a little embarrassing if the only ones I guess are a book that I despise and one of the greatest books of all time, but I'm fine with it. I mean, again, it would be very difficult to not get Lord of the Rings, but again, as an example, I wouldn't know what the first line of Lord of the Rings is. Like, I wouldn't know. So, like, if you removed the 11th birthday thing and none of the names, I maybe wouldn't know. Like, it's just because of that 11th specific thing that happens in Lord of the Rings, because that's like a story context clue, but I wouldn't know what the first line of Lord of the Rings is, actually. I wouldn't know the first line of The Hobbit because that's like a little too iconic, but you get the point. I am not good at this. I cannot remember specific lines just because they happen to be the first line of a book. That's not how I work. I'm already a little bit scared. Okay. Chapter 1. Blank and I have just returned from a visit to my landlord, the solitary neighbor I shall be troubled with. This is certainly a beautiful country. In all blank, I do not believe that I could have fixed on a situation so completely removed from the stir of society. A perfect misanthropist's heaven. No, that has to be Wuthering Heights. I think that's Wuthering Heights, right? Landlord, misanthropist. I think that's Wuthering Heights. What the hell is number 4 then? What the hell is number 4 then? But again, I am a little annoyed because I haven't read Wuthering Heights, which I'm pretty sure she knows, but I have read the first 20 or 30 pages, so I guess it counts. I guess it counts. And yeah, such a capital fellow, he'll imagine how my heart would warm towards him. I think it has to be Wuthering Heights. I don't know how people do this from first lines. Like, just looking at the page and the font and the entire paragraph, and I still won't get half of these. I have no idea how people do it from just someone reading the first line to them like that. I would not be able to do that like in a billion years. Let's move on. Okay. Most gracious ladies, when I think to myself how very pitiful you all are by nature, I have to recognize that you will find the present work has a painful and unpleasant beginning. As a sad memory, deaths of the recent plagues, what? Which my book carries at its forefront is universally horrible to all who saw it or otherwise knew of it, but I hope this prospect will not put you off reading further, for fear you may continue to travel forever through science. What? Most, this is also definitely classic, but most graciously, I have not read this book. Plague, I have not read this book. Did this woman intentionally choose all classics? Because I was very naively hoping that she would pick like my favorite books, that she would pull out like the Bunga novels, that she would pull out Wheel of Time or like Star Wars. But granted, those would all be easy to guess. Those would all be easy to guess, but I would at least feel better about myself. I would love to see if I would know like all the Bunga novels by their first paragraph, but I digress. What the hell is this supposed to be? Most gracious ladies? A plague? I have no idea what the hell that is. I do not know, and I will never know. And so far, we have guessed 3 novels of 12. It's excellent, isn't it? Let's move on. I'm already just so demotivated. Okay. Blank is in Northern California. It is a long, narrow swale between 2 ranges of mountains. The memory of odors is very rich. Yeah, I'm just looking down the paragraph. Okay, that has to be East of Eden, right? I mean, the California thing does kind of help. California. Yeah, I don't think. I remember my childhood names for grasses and secret flowers. I remember where a toad may live. The memory of odors is rich. That has to be like Salinas Valley. Yeah, it has to be East of Eden. If it isn't, it'll be interesting. But I think it has to. It has to be the Salinas Valley and East of Eden. Okay. Again, context clues. Like I think if she crossed out like California and there was like mountains and grasses, I not necessarily. So I think she did make the mistake of like not crossing out in Northern California. So I immediately know it's in America and I don't read a lot of stuff that's in America. But I will take the win. Are you having fun yet? Or are you just cursing at me every time that I get it wrong? It is what it is. Okay. When Blank smelled baking bread, she knew she was nearing the witch's cottage. Okay. Okay, yeah. It was her favorite kind of bread, she was certain. The kind she never had in the orphanage, where the bread was meant to be so filling the children might as well eat rocks. For it wasn't as if they'd notice a difference in taste. Obviously, I know this was my favorite book of last year, so Grace of Wild Things, love of my life. I would know that everywhere. Like she smelled baking bread. She knew she was nearing the witch's cottage. Okay, I feel like I would know all the Heather Fawcett books by their first lines. Granted, because I love them so much. I love that woman so much, and I did read it last year. So we've got one. We've got one. Excellent. Let us soldier on. This made me feel a little bit better. Okay. Blank couldn't sleep. Again, how would you ever guess it from that? Blank couldn't sleep. Really? A brilliant moonbeam went slanting through a gap in the curtains. It was shining right onto her pillow. The other children in the dormitory had been asleep for hours. Blank closed her eyes and lay quite still. She tried very hard to doze off. It was no good. Good. The moonbeam was like a silver. Okay, that's it. Moonbeam. Moonbeam. Children in the dormitory. That is definitely BFG, right? Just because of the image I have in my head, like she couldn't sleep. You can tell it's a children's book. There's also the dormitory. At first, I thought it could be like when the moon hash. No, the girl who drank the moon. But I don't remember her being in a. I don't remember her being in a dormitory. That has to be BFG. Like it has to be BFG. She lay quite still, closed her eyes, tries to doze off, and then like BFG shows up, right? If this isn't BFG, and it is like the girl who drank the moon, it's on me for not remembering that there's a dormitory, but it has to be BFG. I don't have that many children's books, so that like narrows it down. The moon thing obviously really made me think of like girl who drank the moon. But I think it's BFG. Let's hope it is. Okay, next. Is this another classic? Is this another classic? Does this woman want to kill me? Blank, who was usually very late in the morning, save upon those not infrequent occasions when he stayed up all night, was seated at the breakfast table. I stood upon the hearthrug and picked up the stick which our visitor had left behind him the night before. It was a fine, thick piece of wood, bulbous-headed, of the sort which is known as a Penang lawyer. Just under the head was a broad silver band nearly an inch across. I can see, yeah, it says to James. What is that? What is that supposed to tell me? Okay. Like, what is that supposed to tell me? Blank, who was usually very late in the morning, say upon those not infrequent occasions when he stayed up all night, was seated at the breakfast table. Wait. No, that has to be that. Oh, there's a problem. Okay. I think it is Sherlock Holmes. How the fuck am I supposed to know which Sherlock Holmes? Okay, I'm just gonna put down Sherlock Holmes because I don't think we can hope for more. No, which one it is? No idea. I don't think it's the first one, but I haven't read the first one, so I wouldn't know how it starts. Could be a sign of four. I don't know. I really don't. I don't think we can really push it though. Like I already know it's Sherlock Holmes, so let's cut me some slack. But like, I have no idea. I have no idea. Like if it's the sign of four, I'm gonna put down the sign of four. It could be Baskerville. Like I don't know. I have no idea. And she did. I told her like to put all the books back because if I look at the shelves and I can tell that something's been moved, I'm going to know what it is. She put it back very well. She put it back very well because now I can't tell that anything's been moved, which isn't great. This is a very difficult challenge, by the way. It's a very difficult challenge if you have a person that really wants to make it difficult. Okay, yeah, this is Sherlock Holmes. Which one it is? Sign of 4. I don't know. Let me see if I can figure it out. Frequent occasions, hearthrug. There's a stick. I'm just gonna put sign of 4. I have no idea, okay? I'm already happy enough that I guessed that it's Sherlock Holmes, so we cannot ask for much more. Almost there. Okay. Blank stared at the clock on the wall and cursed its painfully slow progression towards 3:15. Was the big hand even moving? She slipped her cell phone out of her backpack for cross-reference. Damn, 7 more minutes. It was so like a Catholic school to make Latin the last class of the day. Institutionalized purgatory. Okay, Catholic school. The clock thing and the very modern slang. That has to be one of the Gretchen McNeil books, which I read when I was like, a young teenager. When I was like 13 or 14. I loved those books. They actually got me back into reading after I didn't read for like 1 or 2 years. Okay, Catholic school and Latin class. That has to be Possessed, I think. Oh, that means that's the last one. That's not good. I have to go back now. Okay. I think it's Possessed. We're gonna pretend that it's Possessed. Okay, that was the last one. Now I'm gonna go back to the other ones and see if I can do anything. Okay, we're gonna try and do this quickly. I am missing 1, 2, 4, and 7. The others I have guesses for. Okay, so 1 is the Louis XVI furniture, which doesn't help me like at all. Where the hell am I? Exactly. That's exactly my question. A telephone. The telephone thing is like throwing me off because I would have very confidently said Three Musketeers, but I haven't read that book yet, so she's gonna kill me. She's going to kill me with the classics. Because I feel like when I think of the Wordsworth editions, all I can think of are the Charlotte Bronte books, which I feel like I would guess. It is the Epic of Gilgamesh, I know that much. So like, what the hell is it? I'm going to be a little angry when I finish it, like I already know. Except if it's books that I haven't read. In that case, I mean, I couldn't have guessed it. What the hell book is it? Like, all my classics are together, which is even worse. Oh, something even worse, though. It could be like a Shirley Jackson. One of those could be a Shirley Jackson. I don't have any way of guessing that, actually. Mahogany for where the hell am I? The whole like main character not knowing where they are in the beginning, and the main character being a he. I have no idea. Okay, I'm gonna give up on the first one. I'm gonna be like, a part of me doesn't want to give up. I want to look at this for hours and like get context clues and like analyze all the words. But we do not have time for that. This is not a 60-minute video. Week 2, okay. Week before their departure, I'm gonna try and like analyze the font. Cool sweat feeling, change in the weather. It was a warm night. The week before departure to blank, when all the final scurrying had reached Nuremberg, a friendly and old crone came to visit the mother of the boy. As home for 26 generations? I would have said Gormenghast, like Titus Grown, very confidently, until the whole like before their departure, because like where the hell would they go? Where the hell would they go? It was a warm night. The ancient pile of stone, like that doesn't tell me anything. Also doesn't really look like that type of paper, honestly. Gormenghast is like a very, very older paper, so I don't think it would be this white. Week before their departure. To where? Like, to where? I feel like the only thing that can help me is an old crone came to visit the mother of the boy and 6 generations. No, I got it. Okay, thank you. I just needed to reason out. It's Dune. Yeah, it's Dune. It's Dune. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Now I feel better. Oh my god. Now I feel better. Okay, thank you. The mother of the boy, I think, yeah, that helped me. You could be really genuinely laughing that I don't know like the first line to Dune, even though I read it twice, but like why would I know it? Okay, with none of the names showed. Yeah, okay. The mother of the boy does kind of help you, so leave me alone. Okay, let's go to 4. 4 is it's the description one. I have no idea what to do with that. I see the desolate plain covered with white. Okay, where is there? Why is there snow? There's nothing that can help me here. So it's only 4 o'clock. It is winter and the sun has already set. What am I supposed to do with that? There are no clouds, frosty sky. Like, it's just a description. I live in a lone cottage on a solitary white heath. No voice of life reaches me. Who lives in a lone cottage? That doesn't help me like at all. Who lives in a lone cottage? I don't think it's Ursula. If it's Ursula, I'm going to be so angry, but I don't think it's Ursula. Who the hell lives in a lone cottage? I see the desolate plain. Also, I don't have a memory of there being snow in Earthsea for some reason. What book starts with winter? The air is tinged with a slight roseate color. Where lone cottage on a solitary wide heath, desolate plain. Like, what book is this? Also, by the font, I can tell that it is a Wordsworth classic. I think that's why I thought it was Wuthering Heights. Like, it can't be Shirley. Because I don't think any of them lives in a lone cottage. I don't know. I don't know, and it irritates the crap out of me, okay? It isn't Jane Eyre, and it definitely isn't Villette, so. I think at this point you can kind of see my misery slowly set in. Okay, we don't have 4 and we don't have 1. Let's see if we can get 7. Let's see if we can get the most gracious ladies one there. I don't think there's any way I'm going to get that. I have no idea what that is. Like, sad memory, the deaths of the recent plague, which my book carries at its forefront, is universally horrible to all who saw it or otherwise. I have no idea what that is. Most gracious ladies. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what that is. Okay. Now, the winter thing is just irritating the crap out of me so much. I think it is time to call it quits. I could just guess something, but like, I don't know. I don't know. I love it that you can just see me suffer. After this, I'm gonna go get the results, so this is just so irritating. I know all the classics that I have. Is it one of the classics maybe like in the other room? Like, I'm looking here, but I have more books in the other room. Are there any classics there? I mean, there are, but mostly classics that I don't even like. A Lone Cottage, that is. I was going to say Heidi, but that does not have a first person narrative. I'm just letting you see my thought process. That's why I haven't cut the clip yet, because this is where I'm going to actually genuinely struggle. So, like, can be Agatha Christie. I don't think it's Phantom of the Opera. What else do I have over there? I have no idea. I have no idea. Lone Cottage on a solitary wide heath. I thought it was Wuthering Heights, but then the other one is definitely Wuthering Heights. I'm gonna put in Shirley, which isn't correct. It isn't correct, but I'm gonna put that in. Okay. Okay, that's actually okay. That's fairly good. I think that's a fairly good consensus that I haven't gotten 3. Like, I think that's very good. Like, no guesses for 3. I think that's excellent out of 12. Now I'm going to go get the results. And let's hope that the ones that I put down as guesses are okay. Okay, she sent me the results, and I've sent them to my tablet on my email. Let's open them up. I'm already embarrassed. Okay, it was. Oh, that's not fair. It was it was Baskerville. It was Baskerville. That I still guessed Sherlock Holmes, so I'm going to count that. Okay, or maybe like a half point. Okay, BFG, excellent, excellent. That's going to be 1 point. Grace of Law Things, excellent. Yes. East of Eden, yes, obviously. That's very good. Decameron. Okay, I have read that, but not in its entirety. So, like, I wouldn't really know what's first line. We're gonna see which one that is. Okay, Wuthering Heights, yes, yes, obviously. 1. Lord of the Rings, yes. Where is it? Matilda. I knew it would be that. Oh, I had a hunch it would be that. I don't know why I didn't write it down, but I had such a hunch that it would be that. I knew it. Yeah. I just knew the snow thing with the cottage would be that. It crossed my mind. It just didn't ring. I don't know why, but it just didn't ring for me. Like, I knew it was a classic. Yeah, that I think that's the problem. Because I have like almost 200 little classics in that room. So I was like going through my classics that I know that I have, like in the big. I have so many little classics that if she chose, like she did choose one of them that I don't remember that vividly, I didn't stand a chance. So okay, fair enough. Matilda by Mary Shelley. Jonathan Strange, yes, excellent. Dune, we got that. Da Vinci Code. Hang on. Which one is supposed to be Da Vinci Code? Hang on. Okay, so Matilda we got wrong. That was 0. What was 7? Wait, so which 2 did I not get? I didn't get Matilda. The Decameron. Okay, so I need to figure out which one is the Decameron, which one is the Da Vinci Code. Hang on. She's gonna be a little annoyed I didn't get that one because we both like Dan Brown. That is a little bit embarrassing. Okay. Oh yeah, it is the Da Vinci Code. Okay. Well, that's not good, is it? I wouldn't be able to get it from that. I just wouldn't be. Okay, so the first one is the Da Vinci, Da Vinci Code, which I just would not be able to get. And number 7 then is the Decameron because number 4 is Matilda. Hang on. Number 7, which one is it? I think it's the one, Most Gracious Ladies. Okay, yeah, that one is the Decameron. Yeah, I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know that because I have read that not in its entirety. So, in fact, I don't think we have done too poorly. So basically, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and a half out of 12. That is very good. That is very good. That is excellent. I thought it would be definitely like 2, 2 out of 12. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even. You can see how much I struggled with the Dune one, and it's obvious in hindsight. So, okay, we've got 8.5 out of 12, and that is a decent 70%. 70%. That's more than a passing grade. That is a beautiful 3 as far as my grading system where I live goes. That is lovely. That is excellent. That is wonderful. Okay. I hope you liked the challenge. I hope you weren't too annoyed when I didn't know. But again, I am happy with the fact that those I didn't know, I didn't really stand a chance at knowing. Like the Da Vinci one, I would never get without the name. The Decameron, I would never get because I simply didn't read the entire thing. And Mary Shelley's Matilda was rattling around in here. I just didn't write it down for some reason. You know, sometimes when you're not certain about a thing, you just don't really write it down, but it was one of the options that I was thinking of. I just didn't vividly remember the beginning of the book being her in a lone cottage. So also I feel like I genuinely just forgot that I have like almost 200 classics in the other room. Anyway, that is it for the video. I hope it was kind of fun. I never thought I'd get to do it, again, because I cannot stand to have someone in the room with me when I'm filming, but I am happy that I got to do it because it's really fun and I always wanted to do it, and maybe I'll do it again. But I think it was a nice selection. Like, I had to reason the answer out through like what it looks like, some specific words, and I did get to like a lot of the answers, not necessarily immediately, but I got there eventually. So I think it was a nice collection of books. She did a great job. And I might do it again, but I might force her to do stuff that's not classics for once. Like maybe some fantasy, maybe some manga, because granted, I don't think I would know the first lines of a lot of the manga that I have. So that was fun for me, hopefully for someone else too. So I will see you in the next video. And if you were guessing alongside me, I don't know, tell me your score, or maybe you got all of them, in which case, congratulations. But I just do not remember first lines of books. It is what it is. So I will see you in the next video.